Boom.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome back to Brandon's Universe. My name is Brandon Wallace. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button right quick. Thank you very much. Today I have a very special guest with me, somebody who I haven't seen, I think, well, it's been like a couple months, but I mean, like for real, since college.
2011.
12. I saw you before we left.
Oh, yeah, 12.
So this
Still
is,
a long time.
This is MILA B. I'll make sure to put her channel down below. Isn't she gorgeous?
Oh, thank you.
I definitely feature this. Let's get right into the video. So today we're going to be doing a personal Q&A where we'll be asking each other 5-7 questions about what we want to ask each other about our lives. Since we haven't really talked a lot since college. So let's get right into it. So my first question for the beautiful Miss MILA is, what is your favorite memory of us?
My favorite memory, and I think it's a lot of people's favorite memory, because, you know, we live in Georgia Hall at Valdosta, so we live in the same building together. And it was a thing in Georgia Hall to always, after class, after lunch, even before you turned up or even after you turned up, we all sat in the lobby and just chit-chatted our lives away. Really about nothing and anything and everything. And so I think that's when me and Brandon first met and got close. And yeah, so I think just always being in the lobby and it was never planned.
Never.
People were always just hanging out, and then you would be like, oh, well, I have nothing to do, so let me just sit.
But I'd always be there.
Always.
I'd always be right there.
Always, okay? So I think that's one of our best memories, I think, for me. So my question is, why and how did you get into drag?
Well, why would be, I didn't really have a lot of performance spaces to go to at the time, and I wasn't really looking either. I was kind of like in a very depressed place for me. So my cousin went to Georgia State.
Okay.
And they had the GSA there, the Gay Straight Alliance. Well, I forgot what it's called, something else, whatever. So they were like, after the meeting, everybody was like in love with me because I'm funny and I'm cute. You know, can't help that. And they were like, oh my God, cheekbones. You should be a drag queen. I was like, okay.
Why not?
I'll do it.
Sounds good.
It was so much fun. I was in 2013. I've been doing it off and on since then, but I've done it more consistently this year and last year than I've done it in so long. Okay. And I love it. It is so much fun.
And y'all, he invited me to one of his shows, and he did really good. He did really good. His dance moves, like, it was really good. What was that? Moon? Was that the one?
Midtown Moon.
Midtown Moon. I've never been there ever. It was my first experience, and it was really, really, really good. I enjoyed it.
I had so much fun.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for inviting me and giving me money.
Yes.
Tip your queens. Tip your queens.
Okay, question number 2. My question is, what was the best phase of your life?
I would have to say now, kind of.
Okay, why?
Well, high school a little bit because I was like the star of drama department. But now because I'm finding myself more and more. I'm coming into adulthood. I've kind of been a failure at that the past few years of my life.
We all have. You're not the only one.
It's a struggle. But I'm finding my footing, and even as a performer, I feel like I've gotten better.
Okay.
I'm just growing, and I'm just taking the steps to become a better version of Brandon. So 2019, y'all better watch out. He coming.
Claim it.
He
claim
coming.
it. Claim it, sis. Claim it.
Yeah. Right.
I think for me, the best phase of my life was college.
Yeah.
And I say that because, I mean, I love being an adult besides paying bills. That part sucks.
That part.
But I think just meeting all the new people and experiencing different things with different people, you know, I found my best friend, I found my good group of friends, to be honest, and just finding myself and learning more about myself. Of course, you're always learning about yourself, but I think college is where you start to find yourself as an adult.
Yeah.
You know, I think now we are now establishing ourselves, but college was the best phase of my life. Just going and meeting everyone and
I should have took it seriously. Would have been mine too. So my question for you would be, what would you change in your life right now if you could?
You know, I would say my situation when I was at work, but I got fired. But that's been the best thing that's happened to me. We'll say that. However, I think that's what I would change. As of right now, I mean, I live my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you niggas.
That part.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy.
Yes.
I'm living life. I'm doing what I've always wanted to do. I'm about to start a business. I've kind of sort of already started the business. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't really right now. Nothing.
Boom. That part.
Yeah.
What's up? She's content and living it. You see, glowing.
My next question is, what's one thing people misunderstand about you?
Her best friend told her to ask
Scott.
this question. Thanks a lot, Scott.
God helped me out with my questions, guys. So shout out to him.
Hey, Taylor. So I think people misunderstand the way I move. Like, I don't move how everybody else moves. Like,
what do you mean? Do you mean on like a job type basis or
like
social?
my mindset. I'm very emotional.
Okay.
So everything I do in my life, I base off emotion for the most part. Or I'm either emotional, like heavily emotional, or emotionless. Like, it's just, that's how I move. With work, emotionless. I don't care. It's a job.
You go and you leave. You get your money. Get your
clients. But like, I don't like doing things that don't make sense to me and that don't make me feel good. If they don't make me feel good, I'm not doing it. And people just be like, well, just life, you gotta do what you gotta do. I say, I understand that, but it's either I'm gonna be miserable or I'm gonna be happy. And I prefer to be happy. And even though I'm not where I need to be in life, I'm just still gonna move that way. I try to make it be a little more responsible, but still make sure that I'm comfortable with every move that I make, no matter how anybody else feels about it.
Okay.
See, and your question, do you genuinely love yourself?
I do. I do genuinely love myself. I think for me, it took me a long time to kind of accept my flaws.
Right.
Flaws as in appearance, emotional.
Ain't no flaws there.
The way I am. Well, that you know of. But, I mean, just, we live in a harsh world.
Girl.
And I just feel like when people are portraying on TV on how you should react and respond to certain situations and how you should look,
yes.
I think now I love myself, and I'm still learning to love myself and learning how to handle different situations.
Absolutely.
But I just feel as if, like I said, living my best life. Like, I love myself. So, yeah.
All right, so your next question is there a certain body part you would change?
Yes.
What is that?
I think it'll be two.
Okay.
I would change my stomach and my back. I feel like I'm very short.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily want abs. I know it'd be really cool, but I just feel like I don't work on any other part of my body. So having abs and not arms or anything else will look kind of weird on me. But honestly, I'm short. I'm 5'3", 5'3" is kind of lying. But like 5'2"-ish, you know? And I really, my torso is like this short. So I feel like if I had a longer torso, maybe my rolls would thin out a bit more, and my tummy flap would kind of like then look kind of more flatter. But yeah, I think that's the one thing I would change. I would just want a longer torso.
I would want this to go away. I like my boobs. I love my boobs. They're so cute.
Damn boobs.
Yes, I love them. But my stomach can go. Just a little.
Oh, my question is, what type of parent do you think you will be?
I think I'd be I think I'd be a very stressful parent.
Why?
Only because I have nieces that I was helping take care of. And I get very agitated very quickly with children. Like, but I think I'd be fun.
Yeah,
I think I'd be
you'd
like
be
a fun dad.
parent.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey guys, let's watch a movie. And let's go get ice cream.
But that doesn't sound creepy at all.
No,
You want
no.
some candy, kids?
But my nieces, they like me. My mom's boyfriend's grandkids, they like me. I feel like I'd be the fun parent until you get on my nerves and I have to get in your place.
Yeah.
Go to your room. Go to your room.
Maybe be more stern than that.
Go home, Roger.
Well, me,
Yes.
I'm gonna be a fine parent. I bet not have a boy, cause his friends gonna be like, "Hey, yo, your mama fine." Like,
Ew.
you know, I just know I am. I'm also gonna be that parent that doesn't play.
Don't play.
Like, my kids gonna know, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes
Yes,
sir, no
God,
sir. They're gonna be
please.
respectful, and I'm gonna be fine. And I think I'll be fun too. You know, I think
I believe
I'll
it.
be a little bit more laid back than whoever I marry. I feel like they would be more of the stern discipline type. I mean, I'll discipline, but I think I'll be more of the, you know, let's hear our kids out. Let's
That's okay.
you know, hear their point of view, but I am gonna be the fine one.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to have a girl first if I have any.
Don't let your school call me while I'm at work.
Oh yeah, no. If you're making me miss out on my coins because I have to come to your school,
Ooh.
I'm gonna bring back the belt. I'm gonna let you pick it out. Old school.
Hello.
Kids don't know nothing about that these days.
Little bastard. Don't miss me along.
Yes, sir.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Even though we just talked about this, I still don't know. Y'all, in 5 years, I will be 30. That is
31.
crazy to think about.
I'll be turning 31.
I would want a house.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to live in Georgia yet, but being that I keep saying that, I'm still here. I might get a townhome though. I don't want a house in the country.
No, we don't do that.
No.
No.
And being that I am starting my private lesson business, I would want to be flourishing in that and having hella clients and doing that. I also nanny. I kind of like it. I like it a lot. You know, I have a part-time daughter. So I think just kind of, yeah, she's very cute. I think just kind of like doing that really, because it makes me happy now and it's not a stressful thing. And being a brand ambassador.
Oh yeah.
And by then, in 5 years, I want to start getting paid by YouTube. Just saying.
Hello.
So that's definitely on the goal list.
Demonetizing my videos.
Yes. I want to start making the money.
I only made like $1.
Well, at least you made $1. I made $0. $1 is better than nothing.
Stingy. Bastard.
My question is, what fictional character can you relate to most?
One that comes to mind is Marco from Degrassi, Marco Del Rossi.
Oh, okay, Degrassi.
Yes.
You know the Degrassi fan, Drake,
Come through.
Emma, Spinner, Manny. All right.
We in there. Just his coming out was a little bit more dramatic than mine, but his relationship with his dad was kind of how it was with my mom. And it just took forever to get to that point of like peace, because we're now at peace. I'm 25. I came out at 12.
Wow. That's a long time.
A long time. So like the past couple years, we've been at peace ever since I broke up with my ex. But when we broke up, that's when we found peace. Because she was like, "Oh no, we gotta get you home. Let's go." And then from then on, it's been great.
That's good.
Oh yeah.
It's really good. You have a good relationship with your mom now.
Marco, I see you. Oh, and just basically the whole Degrassi cast, but mostly Marco. How about for you?
You know, me and Scott talked about this, and I forgot who I told him. Oh, I remember. Ginger from As Told by Ginger.
Love it.
And I say that because if you watch the show, she was always kind of sort of the outcast, but then she kind of fit in too. And she was always just trying to live her life and just be straight up with folks and not lie to them and tell them how it really is. But they would always just look at her like, girl, who are you? And I feel like sometimes that's how I feel. I feel like I'm just very abrupt with my answers. And I've been told now that I can come across a little rude in a text and email. I don't know how, because it's a text and an email.
Right.
And I feel like if you really know me, then you would know I'm not coming across rude.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like I just be trying to tell folks how they are and, you know, how to live not really how to live their life, but what they could do to do better. And they just don't want to hear it. So I feel like Ginger.
Heart. Open your heart.
Yeah.
Let Ginger in. And Marco.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. All right. If you didn't go to Valdosta, what other college would you go to?
Shout out to Valdusty.
Valdusty. I've never heard that one. Valdezi is what I've heard.
Every time I discuss it with anybody from Valdosta, it's Valdusty. I would have probably went to Georgia State or Clayton State, only because Clayton State close to my mom, more money from mom. Georgia State, just because I don't know. I don't know. Just the theater program is really good, and so is Clayton State. They have a great theater program. And I went to Valdosta for theater, but you know, I still have to smoke a lot of weed, so
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Keeping it honest.
You know, but if out of state, I would have loved to go to AMDA, I think it was called, the one in New York.
Okay.
But it's like a 2-year conservatory, and it wouldn't have been there. But it's okay. So yeah, I didn't make it through Valdosta. I went there for a year and went home. I went to Atlanta Metro, didn't make it there either. And
it's okay. College isn't for everybody. It's all right. It's all good. You know, it doesn't. As long as you were doing what you like in your life, that's all that matters. Because hey, I went to college for 4 years and I'm a nanny and I love it.
That's all that matters.
So I mean, I spent all that money for what?
Hello.
For what?
Because Jesus had a plan for your life.
So, I mean, it's okay if you didn't go or finish. It's whatever.
It's all right, gang. Still a VSU alumni in my heart. In my heart. What is your question? All right. What are some lessons you've learned from past relationships?
Being comfortable with who you are, saying no, and social media.
Social media.
Yeah, I say that because when I was in college, if you know me, you know who I dated. You probably weren't here for that. Anyways.
Wait, yes I was.
Yeah, I dated like the hottest, sexiest. He was fine, y'all. He's still fine. He's engaged, but he's still fine. Just know that. But anyways, everybody wanted to date him, be with him, do whatever with him.
Right.
And because, back then social media just started, we were constantly putting pictures of each other up, of us, man crush, woman crush, all that bullshit. But with that being said, because we would always do that, a lot of other females that were kind of jealous would always DM me, telling me what this man is doing when he really isn't. Because we were actually friends before we got together.
Right.
So it's like, and we're in college, so I know your life, I know your schedule, I know where you're supposed to be at, I know what you're doing basically. So I mean, some girls would lie, and some would just, there probably is truth. I doubt that, but it just became a lot, because then it took a toll on our trust issues.
Right.
Because when you're constantly hearing, or people are constantly in your DMs telling you what your significant other is doing, then you start to question it.
Right.
And then you're like, it's gonna take a toll on the relationship.
Sure.
And it did in a sense. So now, I don't personally want to mess with. I just think, if you're in my close group, you know who I'm with. If you don't, then you don't. That's how I feel it. Like, the next person that I post on my social media, there'll be a ring on this finger.
That part.
are gonna be like, wait, when did MILA? Yup. You didn't need to know, but now you do. So here it is.
Amen.
So yeah, and then saying no, I was always afraid to tell him no, because I just didn't want him to think that I didn't support him, or I didn't want to do that. So I always say yes, not because I didn't support him, but some things I just aren't interested in.
Yeah.
It's like, I support you, and as long as that makes you happy, but it's just I couldn't take interest in it. So learning to say no, and like, no, I don't want to do that,
Right.
And what was the other one I said?
Being comfortable.
Being comfortable with myself. Like I said before, I have a short torso, and back in college, I guess I was a little more fit, but I still didn't think I was that fit and that skinny. So I always had body issue energy when it came to have sex. I was like,
she's gorgeous.
No, don't look. Like, it even got to a point to where I wouldn't have sex without a shirt. I know that sounds very weird, but that's how I was, because I just didn't like my boobs. I didn't like anything about my body. It was like, I'm naked, let's hop into the covers. So yeah, but that's that. Yeah.
I learned, just real something quick, I learned that I have to make sure I'm my priority.
Oh yeah.
I with the last serious relationship I was in, I put him first. Everything I did was for him, was about him. I stopped caring about where I wanted to be in life, my dreams, and things like that. I kind of put me on hold. And like, he was finishing school, so I was, trying to be there for him. He was going through a lot. He graduated, I was there for him. We moved in together, I was there for him. I would cook all the time. I really can't cook like that, but he needed to eat. I had to feed it. I think my fat ass had to do something. But I just made sure that he was always good, and I feel like it wasn't really reciprocated as much as it should have been. But then I didn't see that until I was done. So just make sure you're your number one priority.
It's actually funny you say that, because I kind of feel like I'm going through that now. I just got a relationship, and I just always felt like I was putting him first and making sure he's good and he's okay, and everything that I felt I was doing was kind of put on the back burner. So now I'm like, no, I'm doing me. I'm doing everything for me. So yeah, so it's kind of funny that, because I'm learning that now. So
it's definitely a journey.
It is. It is.
Okay, so my last question for Miss MILA B is, if you can collab with any 3 YouTubers, who would they be?
It would be Jasmine on Instagram, Jasmine Brown. She has her own lash collection. I fucking love that bitch. Like, love her. It would also be Wendy. Wendy's Curls on YouTube. I think on Instagram it's Wendy maybe. But she and her fiance Dan has his own channel, I believe. I just love their relationship. I love her hair, because she's a natural girl. So I like watching her videos. And then my best friend, Gabby, I would love to collab. I mean, we've done videos together, but it's never really been a collaboration. So I think those would be my favorite.
All right. My favorite would be Jackie Aina, Tariq Ali, and Liza Koshy. I love all three of you. And Tariq, you're in Atlanta, so...
Looking for you, man. Alright, so my question is kill, smash, cup. Idris Elba, Bruno Mars, or Obama?
Alright, this is simple. I'm marrying Obama.
Okay.
Duh. Smashing Bruno, killing Idris.
Really?
Bruno will sing to me as we make love.
You know, mine would be different.
Barack is just Barack.
I would cuff Barack.
Have to.
You know, he's awesome. He would lift you up and send you to places. I would have to cuff Barack. But I think I would, you know, smash Idris. That man is fine. Have you seen his body?
Oh,
Bruno's kind of short. Like, I think Bruno Mars is really fine too. And he can sing, but he's short. I think Idris can just yoke me up and we can do our thing.
Yeah, but Bruno got this swagger.
But Idris got that accent.
He's cool, but Bruno from Hawaii. And then he's Hispanic and Hawaii. And you grew up in Hawaii and you Hispanic. Come on, let us start there. Oh my God. Hey, Bruno.
Sorry, Bruno, for killing you. I still love you, though. I'm still a big, big fan. I love it. That new song you came out with Kodak and Gucci.
That's all ratchet.
My ish. All right. Still love you, but in this scenario, I would have to get rid of
And Idris, Black Lives Matter. But, bye-bye. All right, y'all, that's the end of the video. Oh my God, this was so much fun, so informative.
Yeah.
It was so good to spend this time with Mila. I haven't spent as much time with her since college.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
But you guys, thank you so much, Mila, for coming onto the channel.
No problem. It was fun.
And thank you all for watching. I love you so much. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Yes.
Share this video with your cousins, your friends, your aunties, your uncles, your grandmas, everybody. Because it's lit in here. You feel me?
Litty.
Subscribe to Brandon Universe. Oh, yeah. I love y'all so much. Mwah. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.